Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Finally, it is time for one of the icons of the science fiction, and now they do call this science fiction horror, and it is seen as a horror movie along with being part of a great sci-fi franchise as well, and a sci-fi movie. But for me, this is more science fiction rather than horror, and I tend to label it and keep it in my sci-fi collection. It's somewhere over there, just after my Star Trek movie collection. Uh, yeah. So anyway, we're talking about Alien. I must say there was a problem with me and this franchise for a long time. I knew about the movie Alien as well as Aliens. Hadn't seen the full movie for the very longest time. I think it was 2011 that I actually sat back and watched Alien in its entirety. I don't know why. Maybe because I found the aliens to be disgusting or something like that. 2004, I did watch Alien versus Predator, bits of it on New Year's Eve. Sorry, not 2004. That must have been 2007. 2007 is when I watched 2007 New Year's Eve. 2006 New Year's Eve is when I actually watched bits of Alien versus Predator. I had seen the trailer and I was interested in it, but still I hadn't watched the Alien franchise till then. So 2011 was where finally I decided, okay, I definitely need to sit down and watch this series. Um, and I had friends of mine who are into science fiction, who are into horror a lot, and this was one of the guys. I don't remember which of these friends it is, but I do remember a lot of them actually mentioned this. And one guy actually told me like, "What the bloody hell kind of a science fiction fan are you? You don't even have you haven't even watched the Alien franchise." So I was like, he's got a point. So I think mainly because I thought the Alien was kind of yucky and all that stuff. I mean, when I was a kid. And that kind of like stuck in the back of my mind. I kind of knew the story of the first movie anyway, so I thought, okay, let's hold. And I didn't watch, but then 2011, I finally did buckle down and I watched both Alien and Aliens 2 within a few days of each other. Became a instant converted fan of these two movies. Alien 3 and Alien 4 a little later in the same month, so I kind of like watched all four of them in the same, just before Prometheus came out. So you already know my love for Prometheus and Alien Covenant. So coming back to the one that started it all. From 1979, a science fiction horror movie directed by Ridley Scott, one of my favorite directors, and written by Dan O'Bannon, based on a story by Dan O'Bannon and Ronald Shusett, right? So it's basically the Nostromo, which is I'm not going to go through the entire movie synopsis, but it's the Nostromo, which is a mining ship that's on its way back to Earth. Everybody is in stasis, but they get awakened by an SOS, and as per the rule, they're supposed to check it out, as they are the closest spaceship to it. They land on the moon, which is do they actually mention it? They say nearby moon. The ship's computer called Mother basically wakes them up, and they land there. They find this alien spaceship with the jockey, space jockey, kind of the very famous, which now we later get to know is actually an engineer, and they see these pods with kind of like something inside, and the character called Kane, played by John Hurt, the late John Hurt, who's been in several fantastic movies. He gets infected. When I say infected, he gets the face hugger, basically jumps out of the pod and or the egg, whatever you want to call it, hooks itself onto him, and they take him back to the spaceship. A little later on, the facehugger thing dies. They think that's the end of it. They can go back into stasis. And then, that very famous scene with very famous scene of the screaming when he, at the dinner table while eating, he starts struggling, he starts coughing up blood, and the alien chest buster comes out, and then later on that becomes the xenomorph alien that we know and love so much. Let me open up my can. So, oops, almost spilled some of my Coke Zero. No added sugar. That's what I drink these days. Yeah. Oh yeah. So, I remember reading about the fact that the other actors didn't really know that this was going to come out of his chest. Only the director, producers, and John Hurt knew. And the scream that you hear, oh my God, oh God, or something like that, from what's the actress name? Veronica Cartwright, is actually uh, is actually authentic, because she was not prepared for it. So, and yeah, that becomes the alien xenomorph. They try to track it down, but slowly it starts killing off everybody until only Ripley and what's the cat's name? Ben. Sorry. What is the cat's name, by the way? Jones. Jonesy the cat. They are the only two survivors. The alien sneaks into. She blasts herself off in an escape shuttle or something like that. But unknown to her, the alien had already infiltrated there, and it was actually hiding. There is another confrontation towards the end, and then she managed to blast it out into space, and it gets killed. So she and Jonesy goes back into stasis, and they try to make their way back to Earth. That's where the movie ends. So, like I said, it is an amazing film. Even now, all these years later, it still is kind of like the if you want to make a creature feature in confined space of a spaceship, this is the standard. It's an amazing movie to watch even now, and since the 2011 first viewing, I think I've seen it at least 6 or 7 times, and each time I'm actually quite blown away. The only times where I find the alien, it's actually a man inside, that looked to be a little odd, is one when it gets blasted out. You can kind of make out it's a man in a suit at that point in time, but still it's pretty awesomely done. And the second is when Tom Skerritt's character, who's the captain, gets killed. So those are the only 2 parts where it is. The theme behind a lot of this is rape, to be honest. Rape, alien creature rape, and the fact that this thing impregnates you through, basically sodomizing you almost. I remember that was one of the themes that it says, and the helplessness that the humans feel, even the men feel when they are, basically mouth fucked. Sorry for that. Sorry for the image if you actually are a little squeamish, but yeah, that's the basic theme behind it. And of course, in space, you cannot hear anybody screaming. That's kind of about it. You've got the great cast with Sigourney Weaver playing Ripley, Tom Skerritt as Dallas. You got the aforementioned John Hurt, Veronica Cartwright, Harry Dean Stanton, Ian Holm as the traitorous android, and Yaphet Kotto, as well as Bolaji Badejo, who plays the alien. He's a Nigerian, I believe. And Helen Horton plays the voice of Mother. Yeah, so that's basically it. And the other thing I want to mention is it also kind of set the standard for, even though parts of the spaceship seem to be a little bit more luxurious, you could say, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing parts of it, but a lot of it is this steam and pipes and all that stuff, and kind of like dirty and grimy, and that's the kind of, it kind of set the scene for 80s sci-fi since then. Because if you look at it, Terminator, Terminator 2, all those kind of shows kind of got that same, and even way back down to, what was that movie? 2010, the year we make contact, they all kind of follow that same spaceship aesthetics. And compared to the more luxurious, Star Trek, the original series, and even 2001 Space Odyssey. Funny enough, Star Trek TNG didn't follow that standard, and I'm happy about that. So I give this movie 8.5 out of 10. It really is an amazing movie for science fiction and for the horror genre as well. Thank you guys.